No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
What up, fam? Welcome to the first episode of Dash Theory TV. You can call me John Dash. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about 4 ways that I found to reduce wait times when I do DoorDash runs in 2021. Now, before I get into the content, let me know in the comment section below, how long do you currently wait at a restaurant before you unassign an order? Do you always wait until the order is complete and do you never unassign? Or do you unassign an order after, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? To give you an example of what I'm talking about, earlier today, I had an $8 order from Wendy's. So I go to the Wendy's and they have an area for placing orders and they have an area for picking up orders. So I go to the area for picking up orders and say, I got this order for so-and-so. They tell me that no, I gotta wait in line until that's the person in the area where you place orders. In the area where you place orders, there are like 4 or 5 people in line. I'm sorry, but 2 minutes after walking in that restaurant, I walked out and unassigned that order. And I don't always unassign an order after 2 minutes, but when that wait time is longer than I expect, I unassign an order, period. I don't care how much it's for.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
But that's just a general example of my patience. Let me know what your level is in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's jump right into tip number 1. Wear a branded face mask. Since we're talking about DoorDash, this is the mask I'm talking about.
No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
Yeah, wear a branded face mask. So I'll tell you a little story. The first time I wore my DoorDash mask for deliveries, it was by accident. So the DoorDash mask was the one that I kept in my car in case I forgot my normal mask. So one day, of course, I forgot my normal mask. But when I went into restaurants that day, what I noticed is that I got better customer service and that the restaurant workers were more attentive to me. And here's what I theorize about why. Number 1, they knew what I was there for and they separated me from the rest of the crowd. Number 2, it told them a lot without me having to say anything. They say it was an 80-90% of communications nonverbal. Well, this does a lot of speaking for me. Oftentimes I would go into restaurants and even if the worker was taking a drive-through order or handling a customer at the POS, they would see this mask. They might ask me, if I'm here for DoorDash. I would nod my head. They would turn around, pivot, grab the order, give it to me. I'd be in and out of that restaurant. It was literally the difference between minutes and seconds inside a restaurant. So regardless of what people say, I wear the branded face mask from now on because I get more deliveries done in a day, right? That's money in my pocket. So tip number 1, wear a branded face mask. All right, so tip number 2 is to be assertive. Now, I'll say this comes with a caveat because being assertive without being courteous will often come off as rude. So when being assertive, there's a couple major keys I want everybody to practice. Number 1, read the situation. Don't interrupt the customer with a worker or somebody who's in the middle of a transaction. Wait till your turn, but when that gap opens, be assertive, assert yourself into the situation. And number 2, be courteous. Lather it down with courtesy words. Hey, excuse me, please, thank you, you're the best, you're the greatest, salt of the earth, my pleasure, perfect.
And the Oscar goes to...
All those different things make it assertive and not rude. And the third thing I'll say about being assertive is that you have to be concise and be prepared. When you do have that moment, you gotta remember that the other person is at their job too, so they're really looking for people that'll be efficient with them. So say, hey, excuse me, is the order for John Dash ready? DoorDash? They'll say yes, and they'll give you the order. Or they'll say no, and then you can follow up. About how long do you think it will take? About 3 to 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Get a specific time frame, so with whatever they respond, you can decide if you want to stay and wait for that order, or if you want to unassign it and move along. Now, there's a couple different ways that being assertive will actually save you time. Sometimes your order is around the corner, and they have to go and grab it, or it's in a cupboard. If you didn't go up and ask them that, you wouldn't have gotten that order. Would have been the difference between seconds inside of a restaurant or maybe waiting minutes until somebody asks you why you're there. Another reason to be assertive is that you might go up and ask them about your order and find out that we just got that order.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
And depending on what the order is, once again, decide if you want to wait and pick it up and move along or if you want to unassign. Either way, you would have known that unless you went up there and asked them about it. And the last thing I'll say about being assertive, even though it's technically not the exact same tip, but it's about being observant. Sometimes we're in the restaurant, we're on our phones, And then, you know, they do those mute ninja drop-offs where they don't say anything, they just put some orders up, and then you look up and then you see your orders there and it's been there for 2 minutes. Yeah, you would have picked that up if you're observant, if you weren't on your phone. So if you're gonna be on your phone, look up every couple seconds, or at least use your peripheral vision. Make sure you're still aware of everything happening in your area. So that's tip number 2, be assertive / be observant. All right, so tip number 3, dash in the mornings. So morning dashing is something like I've really come to love recently. Previously, I usually start my dashes around 9-10. That'd be early for me. Lately, I start my dashes typically by 7 a.m., 7:15 at the latest. Like 8 a.m. starts late for me. And a lot of that is because it saves me so much time when dashing. When you dash in the morning, you have faster pickups, faster drop-offs, less traffic, less dashers, the same stack opportunities. I mean, the part-time dashers are at their day job. Most of the daytime dashers, like I used to be, they're not up until 9, 10 a.m. out in the streets. And even like the evening dashers or nighttime dashers, they're in bed from the night before. So you get this whole table all to yourself. So out there and get that bag. I mean, you still getting stacks, people still tip well, especially the working professionals working from home. So it's not even a problem. Man, dash in the morning, saves time, make more money. Tip number 3, dash in the morning. All right, tip number 4, last one of the video, avoid bottlenecks by understanding what causes them and also knowing the usual behaviors of the restaurants in your area. What causes bottlenecks are typically 3 things: too many customers, not enough staff, or customer deprioritization.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And I'll explain that one a little bit more. So too many customers is just what it sounds like, but the way to identify whether this will probably be a problem or not is just kind of knowing, is it a lunch or dinner rush? Do they have every avenue of ordering open? Do they have people trying to order in the drive-thru? People walking up making orders, people sitting in making orders? They got other drivers, they got deliver the GrubHub, Uber Eats, DoorDash, all the above. I mean, the more sources, the more orders that are gonna come in, especially if it's a high volume time. So use that, understand what causes too many customers. The second thing is not enough staff. They don't have enough people. They looked overworked. They probably have like a now hiring or accepting application sign on the door. That's going to be backed up because they don't have enough people to really process orders at the pace they really need them to. And the third thing, what I call the customer deprioritization. What that is that some restaurants, they prioritize the customers that walk up or in person and the customers in the drive-thru before pickup customers. The reason being is that a customer that walks up or a customer in the drive-thru is actually a customer of that store. They're in their face, and any type of negative feedback problem is more likely to arise with those customers versus a DoorDash driver or a pickup customer, because the pickup customer is likely going to blame any issues with their orders on the DoorDash driver. And the DoorDash driver, at least the ones with some sense in their head, they're not going to be in that store acting like a fool. So they know that they can kind of put us to the back burner and have less problems, and at the end just give us an apology and say, hey, I'm so sorry for that wait, thank you for that wait, whatever they say. So that's customer deprioritization, and you won't really know that before you walk into a restaurant. But if you walk into a restaurant and it's not the first time there that you've seen it be busy, and then the whole drive-thru line gets cleared out, and then the whole people walking in line gets cleared out before you get your order,
something is wrong here. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Charles, thank you very much.
Dead giveaway.
Thank you very much.
Customer deprioritization is likely happening at that restaurant. Mark it in your book, keep it in mind for future orders from that restaurant. So yeah, that's customer deprioritization, and that's another reason you might run into bottlenecks at a restaurant.
But wait, there's more.
So the other way to reduce how often you encounter bottlenecks is to understand the typical behaviors of restaurants in your area. What I call kind of a styles make fights. Know what type of restaurants are typically very quick paced in getting orders through versus ones that take a little bit longer. So in my market, the best type of restaurants that are very quick paced, Mexican, Chinese, fast casual, things like Chipotle, Fire Pie, Panda Express sometimes, diners and cafes, bakeries, things of that nature are all typically very quick in getting orders out. So if I see an order from them, even during a busy period, instant accept. Whereas on the other side of the spectrum, those restaurants that are usually slow that I've found, burger places like the Wendy's, McDonald's, those fast food burgers places, I can't do it. Little Caesars, pizza places, Rosati's, unfortunately, I can't do it. It's usually a 10 to 15 minute wait, and I prefer a 5 or less minute wait, to be honest. So that's why I don't really mess with them as well. Those are kind of give you an idea of what places that even if it's busy, they're fast, and then some of those red flags to avoid. You might not want to accept that order. You might want to avoid it. Trial and error will get you really good with this practice. But here's just a couple of factors that'll help you get started and know what to look out for. So that's tip number 4, understanding bottlenecks, what restaurants have them, and how to anticipate and avoid them. So yeah, that concludes all the tips in this video. Just to recap real quick. Number 1, wear a branded face mask. Number 2, be assertive, be observant. Number 3, dash in the mornings. And then tip number 4, understand bottlenecks, know how to prevent them, know how to identify them, know how to avoid them, dash and dodge. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a like, especially if these tips are useful to you. I want as many dashers that can benefit from these tips to benefit from these tips as possible. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so you'll know when I drop new videos with tips and tricks to help you make more money. I also plan on making like DoorDash, community, and culture content in the future, so stay tuned for more of that. Until then, be safe and dash optimally. Peace.